According to edutopia.org, technology integration is the use of technology resources, computers, mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, digital cameras, social media platforms and networks, software applications, the internet, etc., in daily classroom practices and in the management of the school. Watched a video a while back on the teaching channel, and it was a music teacher who was actually integrating math into her lesson. So she had a very well thought out lesson, but one of the most important things I noticed in her lesson was how she used her technology. It was very well thought out and never took the main focus of the lesson. And she had everything prepared beforehand, ready to go. When she got to that part of the lesson, all she did was mash the CD player and it started playing. And she didn't have to work on it and take time out of the lesson to go work on the technology and try to figure it out and distract the kids. It was there, it was ready. She mashed the button, and it didn't focus on the technology. It simply enhanced the lesson and added to that. When she got ready to use the PowerPoint, she had it right behind her. She simply grabbed the clicker and started clicking through it. The kids never got distracted. It simply enhanced their learning experience. So a few different types of technology teachers can use in the classroom. Smart boards are super helpful, especially when teaching math, because there's a lot of little visuals you can pull in that are a lot easier than drawing them on a whiteboard. You can use, I know in the first grade classroom I was in last semester for field experience, they were talking about money and putting them in a jar. And she had a jar on her smart board and she could slide pennies into the jar and then they could count how much money was in each jar. The clicker response system is really good for when you're trying to do communication with your students, trying to get feedback, getting them to answer questions. It's fun. It's very interactive. It keeps them engaged and excited about learning. iPads are being used in most classrooms these days. You do have to be careful not to let your iPad do the teaching. You're still a teacher. You still want to be teaching the lesson. The iPad is simply to help you facilitate that lesson, to enhance a certain area of that lesson. You shouldn't just hand out the iPads and have something on there to teach them generally. And then classroom websites are also a huge technology that is used in the classroom now. The teacher can use it as part of her organization and keeping parents informed, but it's also really cool to help students for writing purposes. You can have a certain student that writes up a little summary of the day every day to add to the website, so it works on their writing skills, their tech skills, and have the students involved in that. And that can actually, it's not actually part of their lesson, but you can integrate different areas, academic areas, into that activity each day. Today's topic is, what does technology integration not look like in the classroom? This is what technology integration shouldn't look like. Technology integration shouldn't consume the classroom and distract from the lesson. It shouldn't be the main focus. It's supposed to enhance the lesson and add to it to increase understanding through the technology, not focus on it solely. Let's talk about some of the differences in educational technology terms. So what exactly is technology integration? Technology integration is technology implemented into the classroom to enhance learning. The focus is on the curriculum, not the technology. What is educational technology? Educational technology is the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technological processes and resources. This is according to educationaltechnology.net. What is instructional technology? They are ways that messages are stored, and most online applications include verbal symbols, words spoken and written, visual symbols, lines, drawings, and graphics, pictures, motion pictures, real-time video, and recorded, edited video. What are information and communications technology, or often used with the abbreviation ICT? According to Techipedia, information and communications technology refers to all the technology used to handle telecommunications, broadcast media, intelligent building management systems, audiovisual processing, and transmission systems, and network-based control and monitoring functions. ICT is pretty much just a more broad term than information technology, IT. does technology integration affect student success in the classroom? Well, according to research done by Apple, there are three different ways that technology affects student success. The first one is the development of fundamental skills of reading, writing, and arithmetic. It affects those areas because the technology increases the students' engagement and makes them more willing and ready to learn, which makes them more excited about learning those, which makes them learn them better and at a quicker pace. Second is more proficient with technology. The children become more proficient with technology when it's integrated into their everyday classroom lessons and routines. And the technology makes learning easier and more interesting, so it makes the students more willing to do that on their own and they perform better in the classroom. And it's actually been shown that students are more willing to go out and look up topics they're interested in on their own, and so it just increases their learning experience. The third one, students gain important 21st century skills. So what are we doing right now? I am in an online class in college. When I get my job, I'm going to be expected to know how to use the internet and how to use various forms of technology. That's why I'm taking this class. So these students, even from a very early age now, they're expected to know how to use various forms of technology. And so it's important that they learn these skills early because these are skills that will not only be important to them in K through 5 or 6, all the way through high school and college, but they'll be expected to know how to use these skills in their workplace one day in their jobs. And these can be predictors of how successful they'll be if they don't learn these skills early on. It's just like writing and reading in today's world. If you can't use technology, you're going to be very behind. So these are skills that are important to have, and this is how technology integration affects student success in the classroom according to Apple.